Hello, firecrackers. Hey, guys. Welcome to this really uplifting live. I love the title of it. Welcome to this live. If you don't know me, my name is Shannon, and I run this group. And I own Shannon De Palma Co. And I'm going to talk about the shittiest and the greatest week of my life. But I really want this to be a conversation for you to have. If you're not in like a crappy place, if everything's going like really smooth, cool. I want you to use this as a tool for whenever things trip you up. Now, I don't think everybody's always going on something smooth. Even if you're just in a place where you feel frustrated, you feel like you should be further along in your business, you feel like, there's other things holding you back from actually going after things that you want. You feel like there's things that are slowing you down. You feel like there are things that, if you had this and this and this or X, Y, and Z, like that person, you could be more successful. So if you've ever had those types of things come into place where they're kind of like, if I had this thing or if I had that thing, then wouldn't be slowed down. Hey, Ty, you wouldn't be slowed down by whatever is happening. But most of all, what I want to be a conversation, and I don't want it to just be me like preaching to you guys or anything like that. I really want this just to be an open conversation of things that can happen and things like that. Oh, sorry, 1 second, guys. Just get slow for a second. Okay. All right. So I really, this is just a really honest live that I'm doing. I will just warn you guys and say I might cry during it. There might be some crying. It's totally cool. It really is. It's okay for me to cry. It's okay for me to express that. I don't want you guys to feel weird at all. Sometimes people feel weird when people cry or get sad. And it's just a human emotion. Just like happiness or joy. It's a totally normal human emotion. So it might happen. Okay? But what I really want to talk about is that for me, I feel like it's important, and I feel like I've made a contract with everybody, especially in this Facebook group, to always keep things real at all times and not just talk business, because for me, it's like business and life go hand in hand, that your business should revolve around your life and not the other way around, that your business should be built in order to make your life better, and that your business should be built in order for your life to have more things in it and not take away. So it's always so hard not to talk about life and things that are happening in our life. If you are like, if I only just talked about business stuff, if I only just talked about, hey Serena, if I only just talked about marketing, if I only just talked about Facebook posts that convert, if I only just talked about, how to run challenges or how much you should be structuring your business model or things like that, it really would be not of service to you guys to actually talk about that, how your life is going and things that are happening completely and 110% affect your business at all times. So I truly believe in that. That's how I run my business. That's how I work with my clients, is really asking them, if you do a profit package session with me, my first thing that I always ask is, what is a priority in your life right now? What is a priority to make your life good? What is a priority in your life right now that you need in order to feel fulfilled or happy or anything like that? So I always really work around the idea that business and life go hand in hand. Doesn't mean that life stops, and it doesn't mean that business has to stop. So kind of what I've learned this week is a lot of lessons, a lot of stuff. So let me just get into it now, all right? So last week on Tuesday, I got notice that my dad had died. Now, my dad and I didn't have like a regular father-daughter relationship. He left when I was young, but he would come back into my life like from time to time, and then he would kind of disappear again. But I had some memories with him when I was younger. But the last couple years, he was really trying. Like I could actually see him trying. Like he would text me, he would call me. He actually sent me a couple Christmas gifts, which is like surprising, and he sent me a text on my birthday saying happy birthday, or he would call me and say happy birthday. So that was him trying. That was like my dad's version of trying, trying to be a dad. And then a couple years ago, I even met up with him at a restaurant. He didn't live by me, but he lives a couple states away. And I met up with him in a restaurant, and we went to dinner, and we had a really good time. We just had a really, really wonderful time. We had a long conversation. My dad apologized, and we had lots of laughs. He just really wanted me to know that he was sorry for the way, our relationship had kind of played out. And he really felt that, and I felt that it was really sincere. And I felt like from that dinner, like I kind of went to that dinner looking for something to change. And then from that dinner, it was like I let go. Like I let go of any anger that I had towards him, which is very hard. If you have ever been angry at someone, if you've ever felt like you've been mistreated by someone, if you've ever felt like you've been treated unfairly, it is very hard to let go of anger. Even if you have anger towards, like, I remember I used to have anger towards just the amount of money I was brought up in. Like, I had anger towards the government system. Like, I had anger towards so many things, way things had played out. Anger towards my body or my health. Like, at one point, my health was really bad, and I was angry at my body for not being healthy, right? So anger is very, very hard to let go of. But I had decided to let go of that anger with him. I let go of judgments towards him about how he should be as a father, that he wasn't the way that I expected him to be, and even how I should be as his daughter, right? So I think a lot of us have guilt, especially in the parent-child relationship, of like, this is how I should be, and then, but this is my dad, so it should be a certain way, or that's my mom, so I should be like this, or that's my family member, or that's my friend, or whatever, and then we say, but I should be like this, right? And we do that a lot too. But I let go of all of that about who I should be, judging myself, and expectations about myself. And we began really just a new relationship after that dinner of just understanding and coming to peace with how we both are. Like, I wanted to be, it was like we started a whole new relationship. I wanted the relationship to be like this, and he was cool with that as long as I accepted him how he was. And that was like just the most peaceful thing I could kind of ask for, So those years of peace and understanding, no expectation, no judgment, just pure, I see you, I accept you, and I love you. And that, for a lot of people, is a very, very hard place to come to. If you even can have that with yourself of, I see you, I accept you, I love you, right? That is so hard just in itself to do that with your own self. Now imagine trying to do that with somebody else that you've been angry at for your entire life, up until this age. Like, it's very, very hard to do, but it was the most freeing thing I could ever do. So I just kind of looked at him, and I just was kind of looked at our relationship, and I just said, I see you, I accept you, I love you. That's it, right? So when I got noticed that he died, like last week, I was starting to do a couple videos in here in this group promoting the Breaking Broke Accelerator, and then I stopped doing them. So I just needed time to like sit back a little bit, So I sat by the ocean. We have this place over here. This is called Lagoon, which is like leads into the bay, and then we have the oceans about 15 minutes away from here. So I sat by the ocean a lot because that's where I have a lot of memories of him. And I soaked up the sun. I got a lot of sun. I'm very tan. I journaled. I cried. And I spent a lot of time with family that we have down here. We spent a lot of time together over this past weekend. And there were a couple things that happened last week too. Also, in addition to my dad dying. And when I say shitty, I'm saying shitty as in they were things that were just kind of like shitty, they weren't traumatic. These things weren't traumatic. They weren't, things like that. Like, these were just shitty things that had happened last week all at once. Most of them came within the span of 24 hours. And I was like, how is this happening? But it's shitty. It's not traumatic. Okay. So a lot of these things that had happened, but I'm not going to go into detail about the other stuff. I might at another time. But in all of the situations that happened, like within those 24 hours, I ended up just finding peace with everything that had happened. So on Saturday, I was sitting at this table that I'm sitting at now with my husband, and we were eating crabs, and he asked me about how this week was going to be, what it was going to be like. And I just said, I'm tired. I'm really tired. I said, I'm just so tired with everything that's happened. And he was like, yeah, that makes sense. It does make sense. He's like, but Just because you're tired, you're feeling a lot of emotions, doesn't mean that your life has to stop moving forward. And I was like, what? And he's like, it doesn't mean that you shove your emotions down and you don't feel them, right? You grieve and you cry and have all those things happen, but it doesn't mean that your life has to stop moving forward. And I was like, oh my God, he's a genius. And my husband is probably the mastermind behind a lot of things you guys see me talk about. He gives a lot of good nuggets of wisdom, really. But he told me that just because you can feel emotions that you can feel about your life right now, whatever is going on for you right now, right? You can feel those emotions. You can feel anger. You can feel sadness. You can grieve. You can feel all of those things. But it doesn't mean that your life has to stop moving forward. Like, I can still take the action to move my life forward no matter what is going on, no matter, whether my dad has passed and I need to cry sometimes. That's okay, I can cry. But I can still come in here and empower and inspire and teach and educate you guys too. So my life can continue to move forward, right? I can still continue to grieve and feel sad and journal and whatever. But I can still write emails and show up for webinars and do that stuff because I want my life to keep moving forward. So for you right now, wherever you are in your life, right, no matter what is happening, no matter how much money is in your bank account, no matter if you didn't get any inquiries, no matter how much debt you have, no matter where you are in business, I want you to know that you can continue to always move forward. You always have that choice. And isn't that like the most beautiful thing in the world, that no matter what we're doing or what's happening in our lives or what thing went wrong or who we got mad at or this thing happened or that thing happened, that you can always, 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 always continue to move forward in your life. You can always create a new story. You can always just keep going forward towards that goal. You can always just keep doing that thing. It doesn't mean you don't have to feel your emotions. You can feel anger, you can feel sad, and then you can get up and you can do the things that will continue to push your life forward. Okay? So that's why this week I'm coming back into this group and I will finish the Breaking Broke Accelerator videos that I'm looking to do. I will continue to inspire and educate and empower you guys. And I might get off this Facebook Live, I might go and journal and cry and think about my dad, and that's okay. I'll do that, but I can continue to keep moving forward, just like you can, no matter where you are. So yes, my husband's a freaking genius, obviously. He's the mastermind behind everything. So if you guys have a situation in your life that you don't know how you can continue to move forward with the situations that's happening because it seems so tense or so much like in your face, feel free to leave a comment. If you don't want to express it publicly, feel free to message me and I can tell you some things you can do, walk you through it and just be like, hey, like, yeah, that shit happened and that shit sucks, and feel that. But then what can we do to keep moving forward? All right, guys, thanks so much for watching, guys. Thanks so much for everybody who's commented on the post that I wrote about my dad. I felt so much love and support. I just felt so much. It was weird because last week I just felt so much peace and I felt so much love and I felt so much support, and I got women just said, it was so random. I got all these random testimonials from people saying, Shannon, like, I've overstretched, I've over hit my goal. I'm $25,000 over the goal that we set. Or I booked this many clients and I can't believe that I did that. Or I'm already at a record-breaking year for my business. And I had all of those things coming in while I was processing and grieving. And it was just and then I had just so many messages and phone calls and things and so much support. And I was just this is so beautiful. I'm so happy to be at this place. So you can always move forward. That's my message for today. All right. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching.